denizens of the interwebs. This is Double V, and this is Path of Exile. It is an isometric action RPG slash MMO from Grinding Gear Games, a small company from New Zealand, and it's been generating a lot of buzz. Why has it been generating a lot of buzz? Because it brings back some really good old game systems. It's got a heavy nostalgia factor, and a lot of people are kind of hungry for this because they played Diablo 3 and didn't quite get all that out of their system. I suppose you could sum it up as being Diablo 3 with a giant version of Final Fantasy X's skill tree and a somewhat extended version of Final Fantasy VII's materia system. And all this is done in a rather grounded way that is more reminiscent of Diablo 2 really than 3, I suppose. Another buzz factor is that the game has no currency, which was a big controversial issue in the recent Diablo 3. The real money auction house turned into some kind of clusterfuck, and that sort of thing can't happen in this game. There's no currency. Everything that you trade with is an item that you use to craft, and basically there will never be an auction house, and there will never be any way to buy gold to get a advantage over people who didn't buy gold and whatnot. Now, the game does feature a cash shop, but they've gone to great pains to ensure that it's not paid to win. Everything is just kind of cosmetic, not really utilitarian at all. Now you wrap all this up into one bundle and shove it in front of the faces of hipsters, and they start nerdgasming all over the place. It's pretty fucking disgusting, really. But at the same time, it's a joy to see, because it's nice to see people excited about a game that really seems like an old game. I mean, it doesn't seem like a AAA new title in any way. It plays off all the things that the old games used to become popular on, and it does it quite well. And best of all, as of right now, it's free to play. Free to download, free to play forever, no pay to win. You'll always be able to be competitive. Oh, and that brings up something that's important. This game has a competitive edge. It's got ladders, it's got races all the time, different types of races, and soon I think they're going to have a Cutthroat League, which is like a super hardcore PvP ladder. I mean, it's sort of like the poor man's esport in its own right, without having match-based stuff. It's like an MMORPG esport. It's very interesting. It's very, very competitive. And that's one way it grabs some serious players. Another way it grabs some serious players, you could see the crazy skill tree up on the screen right now. That's another way it grabs serious players. It has complex character builds that are seemingly limitless. But another thing is that the game has an interesting end game system that never ends, really. I mean, it's got these maps that you get with different attributes on them. Each attribute on it both boosts the amount of loot that you'll get and makes it more difficult at the same time. So it's a kind of an interesting system. It's really fun, and the more serious players are just eating it up. I mean, you can catch streams of the more serious players running maps for 12 hours straight. And they love it. They love every minute of it. I mean, they just eat it right up. I mean, let me put it this way. If you're a loot whore who loves old school style games, wants a competitive game, and likes unlimited endgame, this game's for you. I mean, what's amazing about this game is that it alleviates a lot of the complaints people have about all kinds of different MMOs without really doing anything special. At first glance, it's a bland game, but when you look at it and you see why they're doing what they're doing, it's so rich, and it does things so intelligently, not only from a market standpoint, like this is what the market needs right now, but the overall design, everything's executed very meticulously. You know, they've really done the job right. And being that it's got an MMO flavor, it's not just gonna go away into the history books as a classic game like a single player title would. No, this will be a game that I feel people are gonna just play for years and years to come. And it might be considered a classic, but it's gonna be considered current as well. I mean, I think they were planning up to 10 acts in the game. Right now there's only 3, and there's a lot that can be done. I mean, it's playing on an audience that likes complex things. So that means they can just keep adding shit, and nobody will ever complain. I mean, this is a game where making complex spreadsheets about the mechanics and doing ridiculous build calculations is pretty much standard fare. This is a game where if you don't know what you're doing, as soon as you get to endgame, you're gonna get one shot. I mean, it's just got a lot of headroom, and I congratulate Grinding Gear Games on making something that's probably gonna last a while. Now, whether or not they'll make enough money is really the determiner, but I feel like the kind of community that this is, if they ever said that they were in trouble and they might need to shut down soon, people would donate. I really feel like they would. But anyway, enough talk, let's focus on what's going on in the game. Somebody said Spark really sucks in chat. Oh, they just don't know, do they? Let's see what Tarkley's got for me. You know what? Even though I do like Spark, I kind of want to make the summoner right now for this video. And there might be some other things in town. Oh, well, I do need to equip my raised zombie now. And I will need to rearrange some things for that. Let's see here.
What little help I can offer is yours.
First, let's get a coral ring, because those are pretty useful in the early game. Now, the one is magical, but I think the 29 life is what we're going to have to go for. And I could get 2 of them, but that wouldn't be totally legit. That would be using stuff out of my stash. I just want to get what this tune has. So we'll grab the 1 ring for 3 scrolls and make it legit. We're not going to be twinking here. So let me get rid of this dagger. I might get rid of the wand. Although the wand actually has the blue slot that I need, unfortunately. So I might have to take a spell damage hit just to make sure I get my raised zombie up. So we'll sell this scepter instead. There we go. Now we are well on our way to summoning hordes of face-slapping zombies who love nothing more than to slap the faces of the idiotic hordes that stand in my way of total victory. So onward to glory. Wait, did I forget anything? No. Onward to glory. The terraces must feel the wrath of the fireball-spewing, zombie-summoning witch-tard that is Vynxe vainglory. Many an asshole about to be torn anew. So let's get this bloodbath started. Come up here. Ah, a horde of zombies. Very flammable. And yet you're not nearly on fire enough. Let me help you out with that. Now I'm curious to know why every zombie is in rags. I mean, people die with clothes on, right? These guys all either have little underwear or some knickers. That, and there don't seem to be any female zombies. It's this sort of thing that reminds me of old games. Alright, you guys aren't fucking dead yet? Come on, let's commence with this zombie on zombie action. There we go. Grab that scroll of wisdom, see what's in the chest. Ooh, superior driftwood one. Well, we're gonna have to at least check that out. And it's got 11 and a blue slot. We're gonna go for that. Oops. See you later, zombie boys. Rise anew from the dead, undead bodies of the old zombies. Which is interesting. They're reanimated corpses, and somehow they've gained a lot of blood. And every time they hit something, blood just flies everywhere. You gotta love that. It's the little details that count. Alright, you scorpion-looking bastard. Look, I still haven't figured out what those guys are supposed to be. They're like scorpion crabs. Either way, they die. Oh, and then you got the townspeople trying to burninate you with Molotov cocktails. Turns out I've got a little burnination of my own. We got Crip over there, lonking in and out 5 million times. Now what's annoying about that is in this patch you can't see the item shit when the people on your friends list keep going in and out. It's situated right in front of where the messages go. I don't understand that. I don't think it was like that before. I never noticed it until now. But yeah, that's something they definitely are going to have to get rid of, unless it's an option in the options menu, which I don't care to look for right now, because we have deranged townspeople to destroy. I will need my zombie buddies to help me out with this. Yes, zombies, you giggle and spit blood, and I'll giggle and spit fire. We make a great team, and together we will strap on our justice boots and walk all over these motherfuckers. Yeah, when we're done with them, there'll be nothing but justice-shaped boot prints in the sand. That, and they will have been torn many new orifices, all which will have been fucked accordingly. But onward, so little to kill and so much time. Wait, strike that. Reverse it. If you're wondering, I threw out that rustic stash because it gives physical damage, and of course I'm not using any physical damage, unless I happen to hit them with my wand, which I'm not doing. Now I'm going to keep that slot free for a chain belt which has some energy shield on it. Oh, and here's the bastards throwing Molotovs again. You throw Molotov, I throw Flaming Bomb of Death. I guess we know who wins. I'll give you a hint, it's not the one who's currently dead. But anyway, although we haven't even gotten a quest done, I think you've pretty much gotten a feel for the way the gameplay is. I mean, of course, there's lots of different content here and there. But this is the game. This is Path of Exile. If you like what you saw, go download it for free. pathofexile.com. But I think that's it for me. This is going to start getting boring. For the viewer, I mean. I could play this all day, and I have. Anyway, I'm out of here. So remember, kids, never get involved in a land war in Asia. Never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line. And don't fuck with guys who wear black masks, carry rapiers, and challenge you to a battle of wits involving 2 drinking glasses and some poison. Double V out.
To learn is to live.